From coast to coast, Canada is painted in the colors of the world. On its streets, you'll hear 50 languages, taste 100 cuisines, and feel the pulse of countless traditions. That's Canadian multiculturalism, not a melting pot, but a cultural mosaic. It's celebrated internationally as a model for diversity, but how has it succeeded? And where is it being tested? In 1971, Prime Minister Pierre Trudeau officially introduced multiculturalism, aiming to ease tensions between French and English Canada and celebrate diversity beyond assimilation. By 1982, it was embedded in the Constitution's Charter of Rights and Freedoms, calling for interpretation consistent with the preservation and enhancement of the multicultural heritage of Canadians. Then, in 1988, Canada became the first country to legislate multiculturalism, passing the Multiculturalism Act to recognize and support cultural diversity, equality of participation, and the preservation of heritage. Decades later, research confirms what many feel intuitively: Canada outperforms other nations in immigrant integration. Muslims in Canada report feeling less alienated and more proud of their country than in most other Western nations. Surveys show as high as 92% of Canadians view ethnic and cultural diversity as a core Canadian value. This progressive spirit is enforced by federal and provincial policies, funding for cultural institutions, and multicultural media channels that amplify minority voices. Why has multiculturalism succeeded here? Broadly, because it's seen as common sense. Canada's diversity is rooted in its history: Indigenous peoples, French, British, and mass immigration from around the globe. Research suggests multiculturalism helps preserve private cultural identity while allowing public integration into shared values, a dual identity that fosters belonging. Moreover, Canada's immigration model attracts skilled newcomers and balances economic needs with cultural inclusion, not assimilation, but integration. The federal approach supports funding for cultural preservation while encouraging newcomers to adopt democratic values and civic trust. As Aga Khan put it, Canada is the most successful pluralist society on earth, but a model that works is also fragile. And today, multiculturalism is being tested. Despite its strengths, multiculturalism faces pressure. A 2024 Financial Times report warns that rising immigration has strained housing, transit, and healthcare systems in cities like Toronto and Vancouver. A Reuters investigation revealed a surge in anti-immigrant sentiment and hate crimes, particularly against visible minorities and international students, a stark test of multicultural tolerance. According to Le Monde, 55% of Canadians now believe new immigrants should adopt Canadian culture, a significant shift from the policy of cultural retention embraced since 1971. Quebec's preference for interculturalism over multiculturalism, favoring cultural integration, is gaining attention and could reshape national policy debate. At the same time, critics argue multiculturalism encourages ethnic enclaves, extensive residential concentrations that can slow social integration. Others, like commentator Neil Basundath, contend that multiculturalism reduces vibrant cultures to festivals and food, rather than deeper civic integration, inviting stereotypes rather than understanding. Firstly, practical investment is key. If housing is tight and transit overloaded, public sentiment will turn regardless of values. The 2024 consultation capped student and work visas in response to public strain, a policy reset, not an ideological retreat. Secondly, balance local identities with national unity. Quebec's interculturalism reminds us that one size doesn't fit all. Policies must adjust to regional contexts. Thirdly, expand representation. Minority voices in media, politics, and institutions must not only exist, but be influential. Real inclusion, not symbolic. Finally, enhance civic literacy, newcomer orientation, language education, and national values. Integration doesn't require assimilation, but it does require shared trust and knowledge. Multiculturalism is woven into Canadian identity, not perfect, but enduring. It fuels creativity, economic vitality, and global respect. But the road ahead demands attention, adaptability, and renewal. In an increasingly complex world, Canada's mosaic must evolve, not fragment. The question isn't whether multiculturalism works, but whether Canada can keep making it work.